Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, and today we will be undertaking a multi-car review, and I shall be offering you my opinion of the different benefits or otherwise of different vehicles on the GTA game. Now we will be starting with the Pfisters, and we'll be starting with the Pfister 811, ladies and gentlemen. This vehicle here retailing for a price of $1,135,000. Really is the top end Pfister, don't you know? Is it worth it? Sort of, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a quick look at it in action. Unfortunately, I don't give it the best go here, ladies and gentlemen. It's got interesting top speed, not particularly the best on the game, you know, good handling. Is it worth the money? For just over $1 million? Yes, it probably is, to be quite frank with you. Okay then, well, let's move on, shall we, ladies and gentlemen. Next we're up on the Pfister Neon, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen. A cool $1.5 million for this vehicle, and this is an electric, I believe a 4-door electric supercar or sports car, probably a sports car. Okay, very good handling, good top speed, good acceleration. Is it worth buying? Not really, to be quite frank with you. Let's have a look at it in action. There we go, a little bit wayward, as you can see, slidey back end all over the road. Unless you're really wanting to transport a group of 3 or 4 people around the map at top speed, I wouldn't recommend this vehicle, but it does have a function for that. Okay, now we're moving on to the Comet, the Pfister Comet SR, ladies and gentlemen. This is a rather fine motor vehicle, don't you know? It's got excellent handling, to be quite frank with you, good top speed, retailing at a price of $1,145,000, and let's have a look at it in action, shall we? Okay, there you can see, not sort of mind-bending top speed, ladies and gentlemen, but the handling is very good. Should you purchase this car? Well, it's not bad for the money, and that's about all I can say, to be quite frank with you. Not going to win too many races, though. Right, okay, now we're going way down the price range, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a standard Pfister Comet coming in at $100,000, very much an entry-level car, ladies and gentlemen. Although, having said that, all of the Comets are vaguely similar in their driving style, as one may expect. Should you purchase it? Well, if you're a beginner player, it's a very fine car. Whoops, it is okay. Well, I had a little trouble there, didn't I? Yes, like I say, if you're an entry-level player or on a budget, then it's certainly very good value for money. Perhaps some of the best value for money on the game. It's not going to beat out any serious contenders, though. Okay, now here we go. We have the Comet Retro, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this car is exactly the same as the Pfister Comet, $100,000. But if you wish to upgrade it for a price of $645,000, taking it up to $745,000 in total, you get this vehicle. And I would only really recommend it if you're taken by the styling and like the old classic 911 look there, because as you can see, it hasn't really got great speed, ladies and gentlemen. Its handling really isn't that good, although it's not broadly the same as the Comet. Okay, now we have the Comet Safari, ladies and gentlemen, introduced, I believe, as part of the DLC. It has working machine guns, you can see on the front there, and it is primarily an off-road vehicle. This retails for $710,000, ladies and gentlemen. On the road, not much to write home about, but off the road, really very good. Okay, I haven't taken it off the road on this occasion, to be quite frank with you, just showing it around the standard lap, and as you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, it is rather sort of wayward. It does sort of lean into those corners rather a lot. Okay, should you buy it? Not really, to be quite frank with you, unless you're planning to do a lot of off-road driving. Okay, the next batch of vehicles that we're going to look at, ladies and gentlemen, are the Grottis. Now, here we go. This is the Grotti GT500, ladies and gentlemen. Retailing for $785,000. Should one purchase it? Not unless one's taken with the styling. I particularly like the styling of this vehicle. One of my favorite vehicles on the game, don't you know? But quite frank with you, it's not all the best to drive. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at that now, shall we? Like I said, this is an old classic car, so unfortunately its handling is atrocious, its acceleration is atrocious, and its top-end speed is nothing to write home about, shall we say. Should you purchase it? Like I say, only if you're really interested in the styling. Otherwise, I'd say stay away from it, even though I'm particularly taken with the vehicle. The same very much applies to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Stinger GT, $875,000 for this particular vehicle. Like I say, one should only really consider purchasing it if you hark back to the glory days of Ferrari, so to speak, or take it by the aesthetic stylings, because much like the GT500, not much to write home about. Poor handling, ladies and gentlemen, poor acceleration, and poor top-end speed. So, like I say, only really purchase it if you're trying to fulfill a Grotti collection there. That's what I would recommend, or if you just like the styling of the vehicle, but don't expect to be wowed by its performance, as you can quite clearly see there. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Cheetah Classic, $865,000 for this. You know, a little bit cheaper there than the Stinger next to it, and a considerably better car for the money. Based on the Testarossa, one would assume, I'm not entirely certain. Is it worth it? Well, it's a very cheap car, it's probably worth the money, but if it's worth buying, that's a different story altogether, really. It's certainly not going to win any races, but as you can see around here, it's rather composed around this standard lap. It has a good deal of traction, unfortunately, not good acceleration. Top end speed's not bad if you give it about an ice age to get there, but the handling is quite good. Right, okay, now we have the Ferrari F40, known on this game as the Turismo Classic, $705,000 for this vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. Is it worth it? Well, considering it's under the million, yes, it is, but much the same as the Cheetah there, my good friends. Yes, it's really limited, you know, it's a classic car, so to speak, still, so it's going to have limited top end, limited acceleration. This handling's not too bad once again. You know, if it was considerably fast, this would be a very nice vehicle, but it is sort of relatively limited. All round, a good car and probably worth the money. Okay, now we have the modern day Turismo R, ladies and gentlemen, $500,000 for this, so actually cheaper than the Classic. As you can see, rather nice styling. I quite like it, to be quite frank with you. Is it worth the money? Well, for $500,000, yes it is, but it is not the best performing Grotti out there. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, you can see handling, cornering's a bit twitchy there. There we go. Braking evidently not too bad, to be quite frank with you. Top speed is sort of lacking, to be quite frank with you. Well, what would you expect for the money? And the handling at top speed, as you can see, gets a little bit slippy. Okay, here we go. Now we're moving on to a really rather impressive car here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Grotti Vision. I believe this is coming in at something like $2,250,000. That's $2.25 million, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very, very fine vehicle. One of Grotti's best. Should you buy it, it's probably just about worth the money. If you can get it on sale, certainly buy it at that price. I mean, it's probably just about. Very good acceleration, very good top speed. Excellent handling, not taken with the styling, but there we go. As you can see, really is a very fine vehicle, and I don't know, it's probably worth the money. It's close call, that one. Now, this is the X80 Grotti GP. This is the X80 Proto, I should say, the Grotti. $2,700,000 for this, ladies and gentlemen. Is it worth it? Not really. I mean, it is very, very fast, but it handles like a pig. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay, I mean, it's got very futuristic styling, a sort of a road F1 car there, really, isn't it? But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen many other cars handle that corner much, much better, and this is nearly $3 million. But as you can also see, very, very good top speed, and unfortunately the corner cut out there. That really is rather a rotten shame. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going on to the final level. This isn't a complete collection. This is a sort of my white collection, as I call it. That's a GT 500, ladies and gentlemen. No need to take that out. We have the Pegassi Monroe here, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the Miura, I believe, the Lamborghini Miura. A really very fine vehicle indeed. Under $500,000 for this, $490,000, ladies and gentlemen. I only bought it because I love the styling. Is it worth the money? If you like the styling, yes, it certainly is. But on the street, yes, you can probably go ahead and buy that Grotti Turismo, to be quite frank with you. Okie dokie, so yes, I mean, it's not a competitive car, ladies and gentlemen. If you like the styling, yes, this vehicle's worth it because it's absolutely beautiful. If you don't like the styling, I'd say stay the hell away from it, to be quite frank with you. Its top speed is lacking, acceleration's lacking, and its handling is absolutely atrocious, as you can see here. Right, okie dokie, there we go. Right, get it down. We'll give it a chance to have a look at the top speed here. Wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, right, okay, this doesn't seem to have cut out at all, does it? Right, okay, we're going to have to do some, I guess we're going to see this whole lap here. That's absolutely unnecessary. Having said that, I do like this vehicle. So there we go. Look at the top speed. It's not too bad, really. But like I say, it does take an ice age to get there, and we've just slidden all the way off the road into the barrier. So like I say, handling, cornering at high speed, yeah, it's not really much to write home about, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and I can't imagine why I didn't edit that track down properly. I can only offer you my apologies, and whoopsie-daisies, how about that? Right, okie dokie, so what's going to be next up then, right? Let's get this car back inside, shall we? Okie dokie, right, it's the D-Class A Mamba, ladies and gentlemen. Only purchased this car because I like the aesthetic styling, as is the case with pretty much all the vehicles in my white collection. Is it worth the money? Well, it's nearly $1 million, so not really. But we'll take it out and have a look. Like I say, if you like the styling, go ahead and purchase it. If for $1 million, you'd be well better off, well better served getting a Zentorno or something along those lines. Very tail happy, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. My goodness, look at that. Okie dokie, spinny. Don't tell me we've got another complete lap here. Right, okay. Yes, had to go ahead and do some editing on the fly there, don't you know? Okay, well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, what I say, not much in way of top speed, not particularly good handling, ladies and gentlemen. Is it really worth the money, to be quite frank with you? No. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Dubachi bag there. We won't be covering that now. It'll be coming up in another video, so we'll move right along. And this is the Inferto Cockhead Blackfin, ladies and gentlemen. Retailing at $695,000. Another old classic car. Is it worth the money? No, not unless you're taken by the styling, to be quite frank with you. Okay, let's have a look at it in action. There we go. Well, it's handling the top corner perfectly well, but that's chiefly because of a lack of speed, don't you know? Sliding all around the second corner there. Here we go. Now, this is an indication of the top speed and cornering at speed. Okay, actually, that was my fault. I hit a car, and unfortunately, the video cut out. Right, oh well, never mind. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Vapid Bullet, based on the GT40, one would assume, rather fine car in a previous game, San Andreas, something and whatnot. Unfortunately, rather lacking in this particular game. Not expensive, only $155,000, ladies and gentlemen. Is it worth it? Frankly, you'd be better off with the Comet. Okie dokie, as you can see, even lackluster speed, underperforming handling. I really do like the look of this vehicle, but unfortunately, yes, it steers like a pig. Okay, so there we go. Right, finally, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Scramjet. Now, this comes with two different prices. I believe its normal price is around about $4.5 million. If you complete a game of the hunting pack, you can get it for $3.5 million. Basically, knock $1 million off the price there. Is it worth it? You bet your sweet ass it's worth it. It really is one of the most entertaining vehicles on this game, and this is why. Okay, there we go, up the straight. So this is in the air, flying along. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's got rockets. Okie dokie. I mean, as a vehicle, it's not too bad. You can see it handles the corner down here, but really the most entertaining thing about this vehicle is it can fly, or at least jump into the air and then fly up with those rockets, and also it's got missiles. Okie dokie, there we go, jolly good. And of course, when you combine those two things, the missiles and the jumping and boosting, you really can have a lot of fun, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. It really has got a rather steep price tag, $3.5 million. Is it worth it? I really do think so. As you can see, it really is a rather fun vehicle. Not practical in any way, just very entertaining. But do be careful because, yes, things like that can happen. And then you're all basically just going to blow up in flames in the sky. Some more like this. Okay, wait for it. And there we go. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, thank you for watching.